Hello. Pastor Stephen Darby here. I'm coming to you tonight. Of course, just like everybody else, my heart is very heavy. Me and my wife just have been just watching all of this stuff unfold, and now we are. It's about 2 in the morning, and we've just finished looking into the Dallas shooting with the 4 police officers that have been shot. And so, it's almost as if it's like you have a roller coaster ride of emotion. And um, and we are just very saddened at what's going on. But part of me is part of me, part of my mind is I'm okay in a way because I remember all the messages that I've been ministering, and I've been prophesying this for a while. I've been, people really had an issue with me talking about racial issues. I even have some cop police to continue wants to harass me because of my views on, how we deal with how this racial stuff. And my I've been talking about this racism for a little while, and I think that's the problem. I think things won't change until we begin to dialogue freely about it. And I think that's one of the things that people that are true racists are afraid of us to talk about this, because they are the ones with something to lose. Those of us who believe in truth and love truth, and even those of us who feel we have been oppressed and being oppressed, we have to keep it in the we have to keep this dialogue going. And so I want to say, first of all, I send all my condolences to Alton Sterling and Philandro Castillo. And it's so odd because this is around the same time I found out about Philando Castillo, and I'm like, this 3 days, almost 4 days in a row, it's just been tragic. And I sent all of my condolences, and our prayers are with the officers, the ones that were shot, and some that were killed. We send our prayers and love to their family. Our goal is not to see anyone die, but I've found that nothing changes without it seems like tragedy is what seems to jar people, to force people to either want change or even to begin to dialogue about change. I remember years ago we wasn't even at the place where we could even talk about this. So now, because of those that I feel have been martyrs, and every movement has martyrs, and I feel that when I preached the message called evidence of an exodus, when I was talking about that our lives are paralleling those of the children of Israel, and America would eventually come to grips that they're going to have to do something about us, like Egypt realized they had to do something about the children of Israel. And we may eventually get out of this country some way. Maybe, I don't know how. And I kept saying I don't know how it would happen, but I feel there's a groundswell that is happening through this racism and all of this stuff that's going on, that I believe that it's going to force the right people to come to the table to begin to talk about the true injustices that will not allow this racism to die. See, the reason why the racism will not die, and the reason why we can't seem to get over it, and even though we've been almost 150 years from slavery, but yet we still have these diabolical Jim Crow style racial divide, polarization of white and black, is because the injustice was never restitute. There was never a restitution. In other words, there was never any there was never any restitution for the injustice. And I'm not talking about slavery. I'm talking about the inequality afterwards. After the law said we were free, of course we know we went into the black codes and Jim Crow, and years and years and years of discrimination, lynchings, all the things we went through as a people, being locked out of economic advancement. Those, but we were in a country that told us we were equal and we were free. So that's where the injustice, I believe, is all of those years that we were told we were free and we had the right to pursue happiness and had a right to prosper, but yet there was things put in place that kept us from progressing. And I believe that's where it comes from. And then, of course, the decimation of our homes through the welfare system, causing our families to be destroyed and broken up through the entitlement programs and stuff like that. I mean, the prison industrial complex that targeted us through the crack era. I mean, so many injustices that are there, and because of our country, the Bible says, if you cover your sin, you will not prosper. And so what America has done is, instead of America admitting to the sins that they have committed in order to become this so-called great nation, she covers her sin. In other words, she revises history, changes the books, rewrites everything, and acts as if she's always been a great, wonderful, beautiful Christian that just went to church and loved everybody. But in reality, America covers its atrocities, and that's why this country began to decline, because America's enemies has gotten over America based upon America's hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is the destruction of any system will be destroyed where there's hypocrisy. And so one of the problems is, all throughout history we've been trying to get America. I can speak for my race, and we've been trying, through many leaders that we've had that have been killed, sabotaged, destroyed, movement that has been sabotaged. We've been trying to get America to come to grips and come to the table and be honest about the destructive practices that has kept America as an imperialist nation, while we have went around the earth and we have tried to free other nations and spend money in other nations and give other nations billions of dollars, but yet we have not even given those who have actually helped build the country what's rightfully theirs, which is just a land of their own, something that they could call their own. So this is one of the reasons why we cannot get over racism, is because whites don't want to come to they're afraid to come to the table, because there's a genuine grievance. And the problem is there has to be restitution. And see, once you pay for something, the person can no longer hold that over your head. In other words, if you owe me money and I take you to court and I get a judgment against you and you pay me my money, I can no longer accuse you or bring up anything you've done to me, because I've made because you made restitution to me and you no longer owe me. Well, when you but if you owe me money and then every time you see me you duck me, you run the other way, you hide, you get out of paying me, then no matter how long it takes for you to come to grips that you got to pay me my money, we're going to have a bad relationship. So every time we try to work together, I'm going to remember you owe me. You're going to feel that guilt, and then we're going to always have tension. The tension that we're feeling, this racial tension, is based upon a debt. And because America doesn't want to pay that debt, they've denied owing that debt. And so instead of paying that debt, they just try to erase history. And so because they have tried to do that, this debt continues to come up. And every now and then, and that's the reason why the racist attitudes will not die. So, you know, so me as a pastor, we love everybody. I don't want to see anybody die, perish. I mean, but my heart has really, I get so upset that people really don't realize how much I'm a black man. I'm a black man. There was a brother that said he didn't feel like I was a pastor because I was dealing with these issues. Well, if you don't see me as a pastor, fine. But first and foremost, before I'm a pastor, I'm a black man. So when I identify with black men, I'm judged as a black man. I have two black sons that are judged as black men. So when I see black men, a systematic, continual process of black men being treated with like animals, almost shot down, you always, black men have been told when police come up against us, we need to comply. So we get shot for running away. We get shot for standing. We get shot for going for our wallet. We get shot for lifting our hands. So there's a lot of things that all of the complying we still seem to end up shot. And so when a public servant who you are paying to serve and protect you feels that treats you as an aggressor, then it's very difficult for you to have a high esteem of those servants. So yes, although I am a pastor and I'm a Christian, I'm still a man. And when I saw Alton Sterling, I mean, because the first video that I saw of Alton Sterling, I gave the cops the benefit of the doubt because I said, well, I couldn't see his hand. I didn't, I hope, I know what I saw, but at the same time, maybe there was reason that the cops had that they felt this guy was that level of a threat until I saw the next video. And then I said, wait a minute, this is murder. And so my heart was broken because I immediately identified with Alton Sterling. I immediately said, this could have been me. I could have ran across the cops. They could have been having a bad day, and I could have not understood their commands, or they could have thought I was trying to do something, or I could have decided, wait, I don't want to get on the ground. I didn't do anything, and they could have rushed me, slammed me, and my life could be taken. That's why it affects black men. For all of you all who are not black men, stop telling us how to feel. Stop telling us it is the most insulting thing to try to talk to a black man who's seeing black men that look like him die. And you trying to tell that black man who is identifying with the goatee, with the black skin, with the marginalized life, you trying to tell this man not to feel. We feel that. So then after this Alton Sterling thing, of course I was upset, was hurt, just trying to gather my thoughts. Wednesday night I decided I'm gonna minister a message on it, and I preached a little bit about it, and while I was preaching, Philando Castile up in Minnesota was getting killed. And that video, of course, it's disheartening. I mean, when you see this man murdered in front of his girl, in front of his daughter, and I'm sitting, and what crushed me about that video was I saw this young man. I heard him say he couldn't breathe, and I saw him take his last breath. That I've never seen that. For us to see the moment that a person's soul left his body, his body went limp, and he went limp and he was dead. And to see this girl keep her composure, and to see this police still in a position of frantic, fear. And I'm like, this guy, what if that was me? What if this guy's that nervous? What if I ran across a cop that was that scared? And here I am, a pastor, 43 years old, a family man, raised my children, and I'm with my wife, and we just happen to get pulled over for some foolish reason, and I'm reached for, and I'm a CC carrier. I have I'm licensed to carry a weapon, and all of a sudden I'm reaching for my license and I get blasted. That's what went through my mind. What went through my mind is I'm identifying that could have been me. So for all of you people, especially you officer, this cop that emails me, that's the reason why I'm so passionate, because I'm identifying the same way you as an officer. When an officer gets killed, the reason why it hurts you, because you are an officer and you are identifying. So allow us as black men to identify with ourselves. We are a people. Even though you all don't look at us as a people, you hate for us to say we are people, but we are a people that is getting treated a certain kind of way. And we are the only ones getting treated this way. So we have a camaraderie. We have a unity. So the reason why we are upset is because we are identifying with this. That in the case of Alton Sterling, the media went into his background, painted him as a thug, the way they normally do, and so it was very easy for you all to dismiss him. But this young man, Castile, Philandro Castile, had no record, was a good, upstanding young man. He did everything right. I saw the interview with his mom. They said he did everything right, and he still lost his life. This is what we don't understand. This is what's so disheartening, is because I'm thinking this way, that I'm a black man. I did everything right. I'm living the best life I know how. I'm an upstanding citizen, pay my taxes, leading other people, an upstanding man in my community. And yet, if I run across the wrong cop, or a cop with a bad attitude, or a cop that's having a bad day, a cop that was arguing with his wife, a cop that's mad at Obama, a cop that's a secret Klansman, then we know the FBI said that Klansmen infiltrated all the police forces. So I could run across that guy on a lonely, dark highway, not in the hood, not in the hood where they kill each other. See, that's the reason why that should kill the argument that blacks kill blacks. Yeah, blacks kill blacks, but blacks go to jail. And I'm not worried about a black killing me because I'm not around the areas and putting myself in a place where blacks can kill me. But yet I could be in a suburb, in a gated community, and a white cop could see me and say I don't belong there, pull me over and have an altercation on the side of the road, and I could lose my life because he was afraid for his life. That's the point that you all don't understand. It's not the fact that we don't care about black on black crime. We hate it. We fight against it. You all don't know because the media, CNN and Fox News, does not show what we do, and all the preaching and teaching and trying to get our children to never get involved in that type of the protests and the marches. You all don't care about that because it's black on black, and nobody shows our efforts in our communities when we trying to stop it. But we do care about that. But the point is that no black man was sworn to protect me. He didn't swear an oath to protect me. He's not sworn to protect and serve me. He's not an authoritarian figure. He's not an authority figure. So therefore, of course, citizens kill citizens, and that's terrible. But I'm not running to that black man to protect me. When something happens, I don't call that black man or one of these guys that's killing each other. I don't call them to show up and protect me. But I have to call 911. I have to call the police, and the police come to protect me or come to serve, give me some type of service. And when I interact with those police, I could call them to my home, and something could go wrong, and they could take my life because they misunderstood, or I twitched the wrong way, or I got nervous. And I remember one time, just to show you, just to give you an illustration, because I want you all to understand. Stop trying to stop trying to analyze black men by talking to white people and talking to women. And if you want to analyze black men, do you realize you all never talk to black men? You all never try to find out what we think. You go to these thugs and these rappers and people who, talking this slang talk. You never come to people who actually can articulate how black men feel, what we go through. And I don't think people really want to know, because people don't care how we feel. But I want to tell you, I just want to give you an illustration of how we have to interact with police. I remember there was a time that I was having a problem with my son, and me and my wife decided, okay, we're going to call the police because we want to. Not, he wasn't doing anything violent, anything wrong. We just wanted the police to come to talk to him about the system, about if you ever end up in the police system. And so the police came to our house, and we let them in, and we was like, okay, this is what's going on. We want you to talk to him about the system, like if he ever got himself in the system. I mean, we're training our children, and it was very educational for our children to be able to interact with the police, not in a bad way, not when our child has done something wrong, but in a good way, because we were trying to teach our children the police are servants, they're public servants. So therefore, this is part of their job. It's not just to come lock people up, but it's also to interact with the police, because they're here to actually protect and serve. So we were looking for them to serve us in helping us deal with our son, talking to him, trying to give him an understanding of the real world. And so they came over and they was talking to us. And when the police came in, instead of the two of them came, and they came in, instead of them coming in, talking to us about why we called them to talk to our son, to give him some insight about what it is to be grown and what happens if you get in trouble with the police. They are looking around our house, looking around, looking at me. One police has his hand almost on his gun, looking at me, and I'm like, dude, I called you here to help me with my son. But he's looking all under my furniture. He's looking all in the back. He's looking all through my house as if we're like he's looking for drugs or something. And I'm saying, dude, you're here to help us. But he could not fathom a black family man, a black man, no drugs, no a clean cut living man, with a wife and children, that actually is just calling the police just to have you come and serve by talking to my son, giving him some understanding if he ever got in trouble, what would happen. And so he's looking around, and I'm trying to talk to the police, and he's not even wanting to talk to me. He's looking at me as if I'm like I'm spooked him, like I don't exist. Like, and I'm sitting there like, why? I invited you in my house, and so I hurried up and said, okay, thank you for coming, and had to get him out because I'm like, this guy, he may, the way he's looking, he may try to, say I'm doing something, and then we have an altercation. And that's how it is as a black man to interact with the police. So we know that the majority of the police are great. But I think one of the main problems is, one of the things we always do, when those terrorist attacks happen and ISIS does something or Al Qaeda does something or whatever terrorist group does something, the first thing America says, we want the moderate Muslims to come out and renounce the actions of those who claim Islam. So because ISIS claims Islam, and because different other groups maybe that operate in terrorism, a lot of them claim to be Islamic, we immediately want all the other Muslims in this country to renounce them and renounce what they do. And we feel that if the moderate Muslims do not renounce them, then we feel that they are with them, and that's the mindset. It seems to be the mindset. We understand that, but when we ask, we always say we know that not all police are bad. We know that. But why don't any of the good police ever renounce those that are bad? So if it's only 95% of the police are good, then why don't the 95 ever renounce and out the 5% that are bad? If 95% of police are good, why don't that 95, which is a majority, deal with the 5% that are bad? Because now if the 95 do not deal with the 5% that are bad and they are silent, then it's just the same way. My understanding is if two people rob a bank, just because the one of them didn't go in the bank, but he was with the guy that robbed the bank, but he didn't go inside the bank, we still look at him as complicit or he's an accomplice. So why? Because he didn't speak up. He didn't speak up, and he didn't turn in the guy that robbed the bank. So if we understand that in criminal, why come the police don't understand that we want you to deal with your own bad? Excuse me, my thing's falling down. We want you to deal just like you want us to police our community. And when you all come to our community and you say, well, we want you to, you all won't tell on certain people and you won't snitch on. I mean, there's this big no snitching thing, and I don't believe in that, by the way. But I mean, you all talk about it all the time. But you all won't, and you all say you all won't snitch on your own people. But then you all don't snitch on your people. So you see your colleagues doing things that are wrong, but you won't tell on your own people. So you all the police seem to have a code of ethics amongst yourself, this loyalty, and but you want the public not to have that loyalty. So I'm saying, if you want the public to see you, and you want to have credibility with the public, then you have to also don't just come and criminalize the ghetto or the black areas. Root out the criminals in your own department. Root out those 5% of, if you say that's only 5% of the cops are bad, root them out. Then what that will do, that will give you credibility, and we will begin to realize, okay, it's not us against you, because you are willing to take out corruption, even if it means you have to go against your own. And so, like I said, this has been a rough day. It is a rough few days. And I was, I don't usually even make videos this late, but because it's so much on my heart, I just wanted to talk to my people, just wanted to get it out, talk to my people, to let you guys know I'm on top of this thing. I'm watching, I'm listening, and I'm also praying. I also have some solutions. So there are some solutions that I'm going to talk about in my next video. I want to talk about some solutions. But I just want to share my heart tonight. Just wanted to give you some insight. And for those who've been following me or haven't been following me, I want you to know my heart and where I stand, where my mindset is, why I preach what I preach. I'm not afraid. I'm not a coward. That's why I preach what I preach. I'm not scared to tell white people, police, whoever, the truth. It's time for us to tell the truth. I tell if I'm bold enough to tell my own people the truth, I've got to tell other people that are affected my community. I'm going to tell you the truth too. And I know it's very difficult because a lot of people are not saying it. But I believe a pastor's not worth a dime if he doesn't deal with injustice. I believe Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, would be on the front lines of this race thing, and because Jesus did not like respect of persons, and I believe he would be on the front lines calling out the hypocrisy like he called it out with the Pharisees. I believe he will be calling out the same hypocrisy now, and I believe it's our duty and it's our job, and that's what I'm going to do. So, I really do love you guys. Anybody that's following me, listen, it's not personal, as far as, what I'm ministering, but well, part of it is personal because I am a black man. But I love everybody. I love the cops. Like I said, if I ever needed you, I hope if I called you, be there. But because I understand that we need to learn to police ourselves, and I think that's one of my solutions. Black people need to police themselves. We need to get our own weapons, and we need to deal with our own children, and we need to police it our own selves, and shut our own community down and build up our own. I believe that's what I believe one of the solutions is. But I'll get into that on another video. Well. And I love you guys. I don't make videos for comments or anything like that. But if your comment is foolish, I'll block you. I'm not going to stand for foolishness. But I just wanted to share my heart with you guys. And I love you. I'll be coming back to you with another video. I'm sure it'll be soon. All right. Bye-bye.